Oh, Jesus. Here we go. This is Sherry Veronica. Iran launches missile attack on U.S. base in Qatar. Okay, they said it was in retaliation for what it called the U.S.'s aggressive and brazen act against Iran's nuclear facilities. Jesus Lord. Here we go. Here we go. So I didn't open it up. Don't want to open it up. I don't know if there were injuries. I don't even know if I want to know if there are injuries. I hate wars, and I do not like these sorts of conflicts because women and children are usually, the ones who get harmed, and soldiers going to places and think that they can take charge of women and children, and it's a whole set of violations other than the war, but other violations which are part of the war, and it's not a good thing. But this is hell, and it started out with war. This place started out with war, so you cannot expect anything different. But it's really a dirty place. It's a dirty regime. It's a place where no one can be very comfortable. If you are very comfortable, you are lax. If you are comfortable, you're not aware. You are in oblivion. You're oblivious to what's happening in the world, and you think that you exist in a special bubble. If you go through life thinking that, oh, everything is good with me and everything is good with my family, my neighborhood is the best neighborhood in the world, you are living in a bubble, and all it takes is one something to fall in that neighborhood to show you, hey, you are here. You're not impervious, okay? You're not impervious. So yeah, it has started. You have to wait to see now how the U.S. responds, and believe you me, they are going to respond. The U.S. will respond, whether anyone is injured or not. Do not get tangled up in the webs, okay? They will respond. And Iran. Look what has happened. Look what they have started. It was not enough to just be fighting Israel. No. Now you're going to be fighting the U.S. And then who's going to come and help Iran? Russia. I mean, what friends do they have that they're going to rely on? Jesus Christ. It has started. The last time they had a little war like this in Afghanistan, and then they went into Iraq, I figured, okay, I will go back where I came from and just rest my head. But you go back to an island or wherever you came from, and you find there's a war there too. They're waiting for you. You are like, they're waiting to rob anyone that comes back with money they've made in the States. They're waiting for you, okay? You're like a light bulb walking in the dark. They're just waiting to pounce on you. So there's really nowhere to go. You cannot go back. You cannot go backwards, because if you go backwards, you may not be facing the same set of circumstances as where you are. But it's a whole, you go back maybe 50, 60, 70 years back when you go back to where you came from, because it's the same shit going on there. Nothing has progressed. It's the same thing going on there. So what do you do? You send up positive energies. I don't know if that ever has worked. I don't know. But you hope for the best. You hope for the best. You hope that people come to their senses again. Remember, and never forget, this is hell. We found ourselves in hell. And with hell, you're going to have poor people, and you're going to have wars, okay? You're going to have poverty, you will have wars, you're going to have curses, you're going to have pestilence, you have sickness, you're going to have death, which is a curse. We talked about that before. Mortality is a curse. Language, speaking of language, all these different languages, that's a curse. It took us back speaking different languages took us back. We fell because it confused everything and it put us back in a real bad way. Okay, so this is where we are. We are in a place that is cursed. It is a hell, and in a hellish way, we try to make the best of it in a hellish kind of way. We try, but it reaches our door at some point or another, because if it's not part of a war you're in, it could be a war with your brother, a war with your sister, a neighbor. It could be a war with your body, because sometimes a disease tries to take hold of you and, have its way. So it's always something that you have to be watching out for, because we live here in hell. Okay, so it has started. Iran launches missile on the US base, and the US will respond. Okay, jeez. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.
What the fuck is going on? Jesus be a thanks.